Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Emil Ennis Jr. back here with Clever News. And in a strange and ironic turn of events, President Trump revealed last night that he and First Lady Melania Trump did test positive for coronavirus. And let's just say that the reactions online are wild. So Thursday night, President Trump dropped a major truth bomb on the world, announcing via Twitter that he and his wife Melania Trump had tested positive for coronavirus. In a tweet prior to the announcement, Trump revealed that he and Melania were waiting for their test results after his communications director Hope Hicks tested positive, adding, quote, "In the meantime, we will begin our quarantine process." Turns out Trump's team apparently got a little too close for comfort, as he then announced that the test results had come in and, quote, "Tonight, Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together." Meanwhile, Melania issued a statement via Twitter writing, "As too many Americans have done this year, POTUS and I are quarantining at home after testing positive for COVID-19. We are feeling good and I have postponed all upcoming engagements. Please be sure you are staying safe and we will all get through this together." Trump and Melania's diagnosis comes just days after he and presidential candidate Joe Biden's first debate, which unsurprisingly had many people in major sus mode. And just as Trump does best, Hollywood also turned to Twitter to voice their strong opinions on the matter. Bette Midler shared her thoughts about the strange timing, writing, "Just learned that Hope Hicks tested positive for COVID. Timing so interesting. I guess Trump's quarantining will mean no rallies and no more debates. Convenient. It's awful to always think the worst, but after 4 years of relentless lying, can't be helped. No trust left." Josh Gad tweeted, quote, "Tonight is strange and surreal as it pretty much mirrors every other night of 2020. Bottom line, wear masks, get tested, stay 6 feet apart, and remember that this virus can affect every one of us from the most powerful to the least. The one thing we have right now is science." Billy Eichner pointed out that Trump knew he was being exposed, saying, "He went to a fundraiser with his own supporters without a mask, knowing he was exposed. I can't get over it." Todrick Hall also tweeted, "Coronavirus, stand back and stand by. Karma 2020. And Piers Morgan didn't hold back in airing his thoughts to the public, writing, "Interesting to see those who spent the last few years screaming that Trump's an uncaring, heartless, empathy devoid now spewing their gleeful joy that he and his wife have a deadly virus. They're no better than the man they loathe." Comedian Chelsea Handler, who has never been one to shy away from her thoughts about Trump, tweeted a simple, "Blatant disregard for science and basic disregard for facts leads to COVID." Tessa Thompson took this opportunity to issue another PSA stating, "Reminder, wear a mask." Even Trump's opponent Joe Biden weighed in on the president's diagnosis, writing, "Jill and I send our thoughts to President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump for a swift recovery. We will continue to pray for the health and safety of the president and his family." And comedian Paul Tompkins might have summed up the general consensus of what we've gathered, writing, "Wishing harm, sickness, or death on someone, even a bad person, is petty and small. But it is genuinely and extremely funny that Trump got COVID. It's objectively funny. He downplayed it and mishandled it and thousands of people died. Now he has it. It's funny." His words, not ours. But if we learned anything from Trump's diagnosis, please guys, and I cannot stress this enough, the virus has not ended and will not end immediately after 2020 or the election. So please continue to wear a mask and keep social distancing for the well-being of not just you, but for everyone. But to find out why Trump recently dragged Meghan Markle, click right over here for another clever video. And then let us know your thoughts on Trump's diagnosis down in the comment section below. I'm your host, Emil Ennis Jr., and I'll see you soon right back here on Clever News. Bye guys.